Want to know how you can gain access to capital to jumpstart your journey to entrepreneurial success? For entrepreneurs who are just starting out or those who have been in business for years, Minority Business Access is your podcast. Welcome to our show, where we will guide you in avoiding the pitfalls and thriving in your chosen business. Now, onto the show with your host, Solomon Ali.
Who played on their team and that was a part of their team, okay? Because if I can get the number 1, 2, or 3 guy, that's great, because that means I have a better chance of ending up at least in the top 10, if nothing else in the top 100, right? So I'm in the top tier and not the lower tier. So that's extremely important. Now, if I can get some of their team members, okay, maybe I don't get them. Maybe I get their team members, key people that were in their team that understood how they built it and what was all a part of it and the infrastructures and the things and the decisions. And that also, this is very important, the human capital, that have connections, that have a network of people that we can reach out and call and talk to. So this is the type of people I'm going to make up my board of directors with, okay? I don't need any money from them. And people, please understand, you don't want any money from them. You want access to their network. You want access to their brains. You want that brain power, okay? Because that alone will make you better than everyone else. It's like if I learn something from someone who's mediocre, then I'll be mediocre too. But if I learn something from someone who's very good at their craft and who's been proven successful in their craft, then guess what? I am going to be just as good, maybe not as good, but just as good as they are in that craft, okay? So my level of success rises based on my associations and based on who's around me, those affiliations, and based also on who they know. That is very important, and I can't stress that enough, your team. So the shareholders, all right, once you get your company, you turn around, you have your shareholders vote. The shareholders determine the board of directors. And again, please, I keep going over the same stuff and reiterating because this stuff is important. And in case you missed it the first time or didn't get it all, I'm repeating things as we go along so that you'll be able to get it and you understand the emphasis that I am actually placing on this. All right, do not pick family and friends unless they are skilled and at the top of their game in their industry and in their business, okay? Do not pick people just because you think you trust them, all right? Because at the end of the day, what you're looking for is expertise. You're looking for a network, all right? So that's what you're looking for. So the shareholders are going to determine the board of directors. So you're going to need on your board of directors, if you're qualified to be chairman of the board, be chairman of the board. If you're not, do not take that position. Give that position to someone who is qualified to sit on your board of directors to be chairman, and you sit at their feet and learn it. Yes, I did say sit at their feet and learn it, okay? Because sometimes you have to learn things before you can fill a position. Everybody wants to be the head honcho, but they don't want to do what's required, okay, to learn the position, to be head honcho and understand all the things that actually make up that position and why that position is critical. So don't be the chairman of the board of your own company, even though you think, oh, well, I was the founder and I'm the largest shareholder and things of that nature. Listen, are you on an ego trip or are you looking to have a successful business? Because if you're on a pride and ego trip, then do whatever the heck you want, okay? And I can promise you this, it's going to end in disaster, all right? So, but if you're on a thing to where you want to build a real organization and you want to build a real company, you want to get a real team around you, you want to have the right players. And just because you're at a certain place or a certain spot, what you want to do is this. If I'm qualified to be chairman, then I'm going to be chairman. If I am not qualified to be chairman, then let me place someone in that position who is qualified to be the chairman of the board, and they can turn around and do the things that they need to do to help guide and run our company the way it needs to be guided and ran. Okay. And that's very important. And so that may be someone that I'm not even familiar with that I have to elect to be chairman of the board of my own company. That person is going to bring knowledge and expertise on structure. He's going to bring a network and access to different accounting firms, different legal firms, things of that nature. He's going to have a good grasp and understanding of what it is that we need from all the different things in different divisions, and I'm calling them divisions, but they're actually positions within the company as we begin its structure and building from the top down. Okay, he's going to understand all those things and why they're important, and he's going to be able to have conversations, okay, that you're not going to be able to have because you don't even know to have the conversation. He's going to ask questions that you wouldn't even know to ask, okay? So that's extremely important. The other thing, if you don't have a consultant, a strategic consultant, you need a strategic consultant. You need someone like a Solomon Ali, okay, that can help and ask those questions and things of that nature and be able to keep you abreast, although you're sitting there. He's not on your board. See, I wouldn't be on your board of directors, but I would be attending your meetings, and I will consult with you and ask certain questions that also you may not think about, and maybe the rest of your board don't think about, but then by me asking those questions, it will help your board to understand where you're going, what you want to do, and it'll allow them to pull into their bag of tricks and into their network and to actually getting certain things done. All right. Another position you're going to want is someone on your board of directors who have a legal background. Okay. Now, again, we're going for someone who's at the top of their game in the industry. Oh, don't go get, my sister's cousin, my sister's husband's cousin is an attorney. Let me go hire him. No. If he's just an attorney, he's not at the top of the game. And listen to what I'm saying. If he's not at the top of his game, top of game mean, hey, you're in the top 10% within your industry. That's the top of your game, okay? You're in the top 10% within your industry, and you're in the top 1 or 2 in your own company, okay? Or in someone else's company, or you're a senior partner or whatever. So I wouldn't go get him just because that's my sister's husband's cousin and he happens to be an attorney, and that's the only attorney that I know that I don't even know him, but that's close enough where we can make a couple of phone calls. No, I'm going to go seek out people and say, hey, do you know any really good attorneys? I'm going to look in the journal, look in the industry, and see who's the top attorneys actually out there, who's the top law firms out there. And I'm going to go get someone from one of the big boys, one of the big law firms, and say, hey, I'm putting a new venture together, and this is what I'm looking to do, and we're looking for legal representation, and we want also an attorney to sit on our board of directors. And a lot of times you will be really surprised that they want to actually do that to help you out, okay? But also it helps them as well. Okay. And so you go, and that's what you're going to be looking for in an attorney. Now, that attorney is going to be able to help you to draft, okay, a lot of the paperwork. And what he's going to say is real simple. Hey, okay, let's say Steve, we're going to get this done, and I'm going to send it over to my law firm to get it done. And guess what? We're going to even give you a reduced price a lot of the times, okay? And that's really important, okay, because you're getting a lot of value. But not only, you got to look at who you're getting the value from. You're getting the value from someone who's at the top of their game, not just anyone that says, hey, I'm an attorney and that's it. you're getting it from someone who's at the top of the game. So that means the quality of work is solid. Okay, that means their reputation is solid. So when people see that you're coming to do a deal and they look at, oh wow, the who's who on your board of directors, that's a lot of credibility. They take you very serious at that time. You understand what I'm saying? They are going to take you very serious. But if you come up in there talking about, oh, well, okay, here's my board of directors and this is what we're looking to do, or here's my team, this what, and they don't know none of the people and they don't even know who you are, well, guess what? I'm not going to take you too serious. And they're not going to take you too serious neither. Oh, well, Solomon, I got a whole bunch of money. I got tens of millions of dollars. It doesn't matter, guy. It doesn't matter. No one's going to take you too serious. It doesn't matter whether or not you can buy the company or anything of that nature. It's credibility. Do you have the credibility? Do I want to sell my company to you? Can I see you managing and running my baby? Can I see you growing my baby so that I can say, hey, I own that company. I sold that company to them. See, you got to look at how the nature of people actually work. Okay. But if I come with a superstar team, you're going to be like, whoa, one, you're going to be a little intimidated. Okay. But two, you're going to know, oh, wow, if all these people are working with them, they must be the real deal. So instant credibility, right? I say instant credibility. No one actually gets instant credibility, but I think you get the meaning of what I'm saying. Credibility and respect is always earned, so you still always have to earn it. And that starts with picking your team because, see, first, that's where it's going to start. You're going to have to earn the respect of your team and the things of that nature and selling them on the vision of what it is you're trying to achieve and why they should be a part of it, see? So if I'm able to sell a bunch of superstars on being a part of my team, I think I'm going to have their respect and they have my respect. That's why I went out and got them, see. Eagles fly together, all right? And I ain't trying to fly with no chickens, all right? I'm trying to soar. So that's what you want to do. So you want to pick and find you some eagles, all right? Now, some of you are going to say, well, I don't have a whole lot of money to pick this superstar team. Or again, you're not looking to pick a board of directors for them to give you money. You're looking to pick a board of directors where you're going to basically use the credibility and their network and things of that nature. Now, here's what you're going to offer your board of directors. You're going to offer them a piece of the pie. I'm not necessarily offering them money. Okay, I'm offering a piece of the pie. That could be a small percent of 3% to 5% or something of that nature, or percentage. As we talked about a few minutes ago, the the guy that's sitting on there that's senior partner at a legal firm, well, is getting more billable hours for his company, right? So we're paying this company to do the acquisition documents. We're paying this company to do the organizational documents, transactional documents, whatever the documents may be, to help us to stay and govern under all our different covenants and things like that, making sure that we don't breach, let's say, any financial covenants, that we don't breach any contractual obligations and things like that we may have, and making sure that the financial contracts that we enter into are favorable for us and won't harm us down the road. And the same with other types of contractual obligations. So that's where they actually benefit. So they're able to bring more business to their companies. But you're going to give them a piece of the pie. And so that's how you do that. Now, when it comes to accounting professional, you're going to want a good, really solid person that understands a CFO role, accounting, that's preferred, that has been a CPA or above, okay, that understands auditing the process and things like that. Now, you really can't compensate them for that, okay, unless they're totally retired and independent, because under GAAP, under the rules of GAAP, there has to be total independence. But what you can do is hire someone who is retired, who understands the rules and things of that nature, who still has a network and who can reach out and say, hey, call Jim over here, and Jim is a really good auditor, okay, and call Carlos over here, let's say, and Carlos has a nice size CPA firm that will be able to put our books and records together. And Jim and Carlos will work pretty good together and making sure we have credible financials and things of that nature. That's how it works, guys. Okay, and ladies, so there's no other way that this works is other than that. Now we move on. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. You go to your marketing person. Who's going to be marketing? So you want somebody that understands marketing. You want someone that understands operations, okay, within your industry and your business. So you want someone on your board who understands operations, things of that nature. You want someone who understands how to scale, okay, a business. You also want someone who understands finance. Now, a lot of you are going to sit back and say, well, the CPA and the no, two different people. Think two totally different people. All right. Different mindsets, different way they do things. A finance guy may understand the numbers and how the numbers get put together, but he doesn't understand those numbers like a CPA would or anything of that nature. And a CPA may understand what the finance guy did to structure a deal and how he structured it, but he doesn't think strategically the way that finance guy thinks and saying, let's say, hey, we're going to use warrants or options or this or that. So your finance guy should be someone that has an investment banking background or that's been successful in raising capital and funds before for many different companies. Okay, and again, we're looking for people at the top of the industry, okay? We're not looking for people who just do it. We're looking for people who have a network, who have access to other people, okay? This is how you build a team. This is how you become successful, all right? Now, you have your board of directors, okay? We didn't go over every single position, but I think you get the meaning of what we're talking about and how we do this, okay? Now, the next, what you're going to do is your board of directors is going to pick a CEO. They're going to select and hire a CEO and give some rules and things of that nature. And I'm sure you, as the largest shareholder and the founder of the company, you may want to be the CEO and think that's your job and that you should do that. People, again, are you on an ego, pride trip? Because if you are, you're not going to be successful. But if you're on a thing to where you want to make and create a really awesome business and create wealth, sustainable wealth, and grow a really nice sized company, then listen to what I'm saying. If you're capable of being the CEO, wonderful. You may not be. Don't be offended. Again, sit at the CEO's feet. If the board of directors think that there's somebody that's better that could do that job, let the board of directors hire that person to do that job and place them under a contract, and while you sit at his feet and you learn the business. Okay, you learn, because it's a difference, okay, between running a business and making hamburgers, okay? That's two different skill sets, people, and you must begin to understand that. Just because I can make hamburgers or just because I can design a widget don't mean I can actually run a business. Okay, so you got to understand that. You got to get out of your own way. All right. A lot of people, including myself in my early years, I was in my own way. I thought I could do it all. I thought I knew because I created the business, I founded the business, and I made the business go from zero to a few million or whatever in sales, that I had it all under control. And I didn't. And if I would have gotten out of my own way, the business wouldn't have gone just to a few million. It would have gone to many, many millions of dollars. Okay. Are you starting to get and understand what I'm saying now? Okay. And that's very important. So, and that's why I'm saying, is it ego? Is it pride? Get yourself on up out the way, because it should be about growing a business and making money. And everyone around you has to make money. And see, everyone around me are so smart and so successful, they don't need me. Okay. And at the same time, I'm at a level now where I may not need them neither. Okay. Because we're all egos. So we can all go do our own things. But if you got a bunch of little chickens running around with you, okay, the chickens need you to eat. So the chickens are doing what they need to do to try to keep their jobs. So they're giving you some half-truths and things of that nature just to keep their jobs. And they're doing what we call professional stalls, projects taking twice, 3 times as long as a project should take, because they don't have the skill set. They're trying to learn it and figure it out as they go. And you're paying for that. That's not what you want to be paying for. That costs you way, way more money in the long run. So stop. Listen to what I'm saying. Please stop. Get the best people that you can possibly get from the onset. Don't get those chickens because you think those chickens are cheap. They're not. They're going to cost you an arm, a leg, and then they're going to cost you your second arm and leg, and then you're going to lose your business. Trust me on this. You will lose your business. Do not hire somebody or have people around you who are chickens and you're just paying them and things of that nature, and you're thinking it's a little bit more frugal or inexpensive or cheap, however you want to say it. All right? Get you some eagles. Eagles will get your job done. They will get the work done. Yes, they're strong enough and independent enough and everything of that nature. They know, and you know, that they don't need to be there. They can go do their own thing at any given time, but they're there to achieve a mission and a task, okay? Those are the kind of people you want around you. Superstars. You want a team of superstars, okay? And if you're not a superstar at the time, you will become a superstar. You better believe that, because you're going to understand the work ethic. You're going to understand access to all the different people and how to utilize that access. Because, see, we just don't call on people to be calling on them. See, I'm not going to call on certain people to help, even my daughter. Or my grandson, right? Or myself, unless it's a deserving and worthy project, okay, that everyone can benefit from. See, it's got to be a deserving and worthy project when you start calling on your access, your network, okay? Before I turn around and vouch for someone, what am I going to do? I'm going to vet out that project myself. Because that's my credibility. I am not just going to say, hey, Steve, I'm bringing Mike over here. I want you guys to talk. Why would I waste Steve's time like that? I have more respect for Steve. I know Steve's an ego, okay? So I'm not going to disrespect his time. I am going to vet out Mike, what Mike wants to do and everything of that nature. And if it's not up to par, and be like, Mike, you're not ready to meet some of the people that I can give you access to. But when you get ready, I would be more than glad to help you and to assist you in that area. Now, I'm just keeping this 100 for you, as the young people like to say, because that's real. Okay. And the same if I'm not taking you to arrange any financing or anything like that for you, if your deal doesn't make sense. All right. So enough of that. I went off a little bit, so we're going to get back. So if you're not ready to be CEO, be honest with yourself, brutally honest. Do not take it personally. Sit at the feet of whoever the board would like to hire as CEO to get the company up and going, operational, and learn from them. Put your pride aside, okay? And learning may take anywhere from about 3 to 5 years, people. It may take about 3 to 5 years where you're sitting at that person's feet and you're learning. And no matter what, you're going to have to resist that temptation that you can do the job better and things of that nature, because, again, you're on the outside looking in on how he's making decisions and why, okay? And so what you want to do is learn as much information and learn how to do that position effectively. Now, you got your CEO. So now you're going to start hiring. The CEO is going to start hiring his different division heads, okay, senior vice presidents and things of that nature. And he's going to hire a finance guy. He's going to hire a marketing guy. He's going to hire a sales guy. He's going to hire an operations guy. So he's going to begin to hire all these different people that it takes to run a department. And then it's going to continue to go down. Now, those individual people are going to be able to now start hiring the right people that's going to take to work within that department, okay? And they're going to get the best of the best that they possibly know and things of that nature, and this is how you become successful. See, now what's happening, if you look at it, if you look at it, mostly everyone is going from one level to the next, and they're accessing their networks. Okay, they're accessing their networks based on what positions and things of that nature that they have held and how successful they have been in those positions. I have seen it where we've gone out and we were looking for a CEO, and he brought 15, 20 people with him, and he wouldn't come without those 15, 20 people. He was like, look, I had to bring my team, and we had to pay millions of dollars for that team. Okay. And I've seen key senior vice presidents do the same thing. Say, hey, I'm willing to come, but I need to bring these 5 people with me as well. And this is what they're accustomed to making and things of that nature. If you have to do that, let me tell you, do it in a heartbeat. Don't sit back and question it. Don't sit back and think about it. You figure out, okay, how do I pay these people, get them paid and everything of that nature? Because what he's bringing you is a complete infrastructure of people who have done it, who can get it done, who they know how to work together so they don't have to learn how to vibe together. They already know. So they're able to hit the ground running a lot faster. And that's what you want, guys. Time is money. So if we can get it done in half the time, we're saving way more money, and it's not as costly as you think. But if I had to pay a person $10,000 a month and it takes them 4 years to get the job done, okay, wow, that's a lot of money. If I can pay a guy $15,000 a month and it takes him 4 months to get it done, yeah, it appears to be a lot of money monthly, but he didn't cut that time all the way down to just 4 months. Do you understand what I'm saying now? So it's well worth me paying him that $15,000 a month. It is really well worth that, okay? Versus trying to pay a guy $4,000 a month and it's going to take him 4 years. Nah, I don't have 4 years. I may not be around in 4 years. I need to get this business up and going as quickly as possible. I need to minimize as much risk all the way around. And so that's what we're going to always try to do. And we're going to try to put the right people around us to be able to achieve that end goal. Okay. Now, I got my team. I have my board of directors. I have my management team, starting with my CEO and everything of that nature. Now, so what do? We begin to execute our plan. Okay, that's what we begin to do. So we start to have our meetings, and we start to talk about how to execute the plans. Now, the next thing you have to do is what? This is very important. You got to let your key people do what they do. You can't micromanage them. You need to understand what it is, and here's why we keep saying, if you're not ready to sit at that seat because your understanding or your skill set is not there yet, please don't sit in that seat, because all you're going to do is slow the team down from achieving what they need to achieve. And, you know, in school, we learned there's no such thing as a dumb question. Okay, I believe that, but that's bullshit. Okay, and I'm just being honest with you. Because if I'm sitting in a classroom with a guy who can do calculus, all right, and all I can do is third grade arithmetic, my questions are going to be very unnerving to him. Do you understand what I'm saying? He's doing calculus. I'm barely being able to add and do arithmetic. My questions are going to be unnerving, and not only are they unnerving, they're just going to be damn right stupid. Do you understand where I'm coming from now? So that's why it's so important, okay? It's so important that if you're not ready to sit in the seat, don't sit in the seat. Hire the best of the best, okay? Because when he's talking calculus, guess what? Everybody else already understands what the heck it is he's talking about. They're already at that level. They're thinking along those lines. And here you come asking some questions from your little bitty understanding of how you think things should work or how you think things should go. Get out of here with that bullshit. Okay, and forgive me for the language, but I'm passionate about this because I don't like people wasting my time, and I don't want to waste anybody else's time. And I've been there, done that, and when I don't know something, I take the back seat. The first thing of a great leader is you must be a great follower. You will never, ever be a great leader if you're not a great follower. You must be willing and able to take orders from other people. You must be humble, okay? You must get rid of all of that false pride and everything of that nature and say, hey, I don't know. So let me learn and keep my mouth shut and follow. I'm reminded of a movie, The Karate Kid. Wax on, wax off. And the little kid wanted to know why. Why am I doing this? This is stupid. Don't make any sense. Until it was time to apply the applications, did he realize what it was that he learned. So people, it's the same way in business. No one has time if they're doing calculus and you're still in arithmetic to be answering your dumbass questions. And they are dumb. And it's not that the teachers that always told us there's no such thing as a dumb question, but hey, guess what? That applies when you're in the right setting. See, there's no such thing as a dumb question if you're in arithmetic and you're doing basic math and you're in a classroom with people doing basic math. But if you're over here in a classroom with people doing calculus, okay, and you're trying to do arithmetic and you asking a damn question, God dang it, it's a dumb question. You're taking up people's time. You're taking up people's valuable time. You're keeping them from getting the things done that you want them to get done. So please understand that. Okay, you're going to have employees who are going to try to manipulate you, who are going to try to convince you that they're doing a great job. You know, I'm going to tell a personal story here. I have an employee, all right? It's taken her 2 years to do a project. And I step in and I get it done in a couple of weeks. And she had the audacity to say, well, the reason you got it done in a couple of weeks was because the work I put in for the 2 years. I said, no, it wasn't. The reason I got it done in a couple of weeks was because I understood what they were asking for and why they were asking for it. And when you didn't understand that, you walked away from it and then came back from time to time and had to keep starting over. Okay. Well, she didn't really believe that that was correct or accurate. Okay. Well, guess what? You're a disobedient person. You don't want to follow orders. You don't want to follow rules. Okay. And those kind of people are going to bring correction. I don't want to have those kind of people on my team that's breaking the rules, that's not doing what they're supposed to, because guess what's going to happen? Correction. Obedience brings rewards. Disobedience brings what? Correction. So I'm always one to want to follow what? the rules. So she made her point and everything like that, and I kind of looked at her and smiled and went on my way because it wasn't worth arguing or trying to explain because it didn't really. How can I say this? I'm gonna say didn't think that much of her one way or the other to give her the time of day to explain it. See, if I care about you and I think a lot of you and I think there's a lot of potential in you, then I'm gonna sit down and have conversations with you. Then I'm going to explain things to you. I am going to share things with you. But if I don't and you just think you know, well, then okay, ain't no need for me to take my time and explain it to you. Screw that. Let you go on and fall off the bridge with your dumb self because that's what's going to happen. All right. So the next situation came up. We had a person that needed to be paid. It was one of our vendors. Okay. And our company has a certain set of rules of how we pay people and the information that we require up front for accounting purposes and things of that nature so that we don't get to the end of the year scrambling and trying to figure out what this is for and do we have their 1099 information and all of that kind of stuff, right? Well, here's when you know you're dealing with a chicken, okay? The chicken never took the time to learn all the policy and the procedures of the company. So the chicken comes back and says, hey, can we use Zelle to pay them? Or can we use this to pay them? That's what the chicken came back. Well, it's clear in our policy and procedures, we only pay two ways, either a wire or a check. Now, you understand in our policy and procedures, that is our Bible. That's how we guide and govern our company, right? So it said either a wire or a check. And for us to send out a wire or a check, this is all the documentation we need to have about that particular vendor. Now, do you understand why I call the person a chicken? Yeah, of course. Because the chicken wouldn't have came back and asked that question if they had taken the time like a eagle would have, okay, and read our policies and procedures and understood how these transactions and things of that nature work when we have to pay vendors. They would have known that already. But the chicken comes to me and asks me that question and wants to place me on the spot. Well, why not? Really? Really? You're asking me why not? Oh, I don't know why not. Don't really give a crap. But how about it's in our policy and procedure, so let's just do it that way. Now, I understand because I read the policy and procedures and probably helped drafted a lot of it, is that the reason we do it is so that we don't have to waste our time 6 months or a year looking for documentation. We don't have to waste our time trying to figure that out. Oh, what this bill was actually for and things of that nature, right? What does that mean? We're not spending and wasting money. See, because now if we have to spend time 6 months from now or a year from now trying to figure stuff out, then we're spending and wasting money. Okay, because now we're doing the same job again. But see, the chicken don't understand that. So again, I believe there's no such thing as a dumb question. I truly believe that. However, it's in the right setting because everybody that's in basic math, yeah, if you're all in the same room, there's no such thing as a dumb question. But if you're over here in a calculus class and you're asking some dang basic math shit, yeah, that's a damn dumb question. Get your ass up out the class, okay? Because you're wasting everybody's time. And it's the same in a professional level. If you're not at this level with executives and stuff like that, guys, you can't fake it. You can't, it ain't none of that crap, fake it until you make it. You can't. Because the other people who's up there, who's been there, they know what it looks like. They know the things that have to be done. And you're asking them questions is just unnerving. It's disturbing to them. Okay? So again, that's why I'm telling you, if you're not to be the chairman of the board, don't try to do a job that you can't do. Learn the job. Let someone else do that job and teach it to you. Sit at their feet. If you're not ready to be CEO, please be honest with yourself. Don't be CEO. Learn the job. Let someone else be CEO. Sit at their feet so that you're never considered that chicken. You understand? You don't want to be the chicken. All right? And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of employees who think, oh, wow, I do this really well, and I should be promoted and do another job for you and get more money or be vice president and things like that. And then they get that job, and then all of a sudden they can't do the job. Because being a great salesperson is different than being a great manager. See? And so now all of a sudden they sitting at the table with a bunch of other managers, and they're a salesperson, and they don't really understand, and they're not willing to try to understand what the new position is. So that doesn't work. So now you got a superstar and you made him a manager, and now all of a sudden he becomes a chicken. Don't place people in those kind of situations. If they're a superstar salesperson, let them stay a superstar salesperson, okay? If you're looking for a superstar manager, go get you a superstar manager. That's how this works, all right? Everyone, I want to thank you. I hope you found this to be very informative and very helpful. I know it's helped me in my life, especially in my later years as I continue to grow and develop businesses and do deals and stuff like that. Thank you so much for tuning in to MBA, Minority Business Access. I enjoyed you guys, and I really hope you enjoyed this and take a lot from it. It will save you a lot of money and a lot of time. Thanks for joining in on Minority Business Access. Thank you so much for coming in.
You've reached the end of another episode of the Minority Business Access podcast. Connect with us at solomonrcali.info to leave a review and access more resources. We hope you enjoyed this show and found great value. See you at the next episode.